Hi there, Sensei Victoria Whitfield here, and this is your weekly love letter from the dojo at naturalintuition.com, your source for channeled holistic stress management techniques and guidance for developing your natural intuition. This week, Source kind of knocked me off my chair because she said that fear is always a choice. It's very intense news, and I don't know who this is for. This may be right on time for somebody right now, but fear is always a choice. Perhaps there's a decision that's been coming up for you that you're really like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm afraid to go through with it. I'm afraid to take that next step. Or what is so-and-so going to think of me, blah, blah, blah. Or, going to the gym or whatever. Fear, the guides are saying, is always a choice. Now, think of it this way. We as a human species are hardwired for fear. Depending on your worldview, we've been inheriting for either hundreds of thousands, or even millions of years, genes from our ancestors. And, way back in the day, put it that way, some of our ancestors would think, wow, there's a ravenous raccoon right there. Oh man, he looks super cuddly. I'm gonna go and hang out with him, give him a big hug, maybe cuddle up against him, because they were outgoing, fearless, and just wanted to connect with life. Meanwhile, we had other ancestors who were hanging out in the tree thinking, I'm really scared of that ravenous looking raccoon. Sure, he's fuzzy, but I don't know. I'm not getting a good feeling from that guy. I think I'm going to hang back here, and you know what? Not only that, I think I'll just wrap myself in a ton of banana leaves and hide inside the tree or cave, anywhere that I can hide as much as possible. Who do you think lived not only to tell the story, but also to pass down their genes? Person who was excited and went and hung out with the ravenous, horrible raccoons, or the one that wrapped himself in banana leaves and hid inside a cave until everything was fine, or brought everyone else into the cave and mated with them. Obviously, the anxious, crazy pants who was in the cave. Compound that over the last few millennia, and ta-da, here we are. So brutal. We're hardwired for fear. It's evolutionary protection mechanism to ensure that you continue forward in life. It's being fearful. That's your ego, right? She's getting up and beating on her cowbell, dunk, 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 danger ahead, dunk, 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 or at least that's what my ego does. She is a cowbell. More cowbell, right? Be kind to yourself. If you've been feeling really fearful lately, or if you have an irrational fear, such as the fear of number 13, right? You never want to go onto the 13th floor, or unlucky 13, or a fear of arachnids. Spider people are really nice. They could go on their way and you go on yours. You don't really have to worry about them. What would happen if you realized that every time that you were feeling fearful, you were choosing to feel fear? What would that mean? Perhaps that would mean that you have power to decide to feel a different way. Years ago, one of my spiritual teachers, during a deep healing session together, she helped me bring out of my shadow this incredible learning that I'm going to share with you. What came through in that session together is that every time I am afraid, I am also excited at the same time. Now, in psychology, this is actually backed up. The only difference biochemically, metabolically, between fear emotions and excitement, elation emotions is where you're breathing. You can actually, I didn't know this until years later. This is just something that came through in the spiritual session. Not to downplay it. It was profound work. Changed my life, yes? But if you are breathing up here, shallow, top of the lungs, that's fear. You're choosing, right, to generate more fear chemicals and responses in your body. But if you were to choose, while you're feeling fearful, to breathe deeper, right? Breathe into your pelvis is what I call it here at the dojo during our meditation classes. Breathe deep into your pelvis. You can actually access way more than just fear, but excitement, innovation, inspiration, motivation, while also, yes, feeling that intense energy. Where you choose to breathe determines who you will choose to be in the next moment. But it all comes down to understanding that fear is a choice. I'm hearing the oracle cards calling in the energy right now. The deck that came through is Healing with the Angels Oracle Cards deck by Doreen Virtue, one of many decks that you can come and play with if you come visit the dojo here in Westfield, New Jersey. All right. They said don't even shuffle. Bottom card. That never happens, by the way. Spiritual growth. Knowing that fear is a choice for you, simply knowing that is already working on your spirit's expansion right now. They're telling me to read. This is a week of spiritual growth for you, the guides are saying. You are going through a time of rapid spiritual growth. Enjoy the process. Exclamation point, by the way. I'm laughing because when I've had times of rapid spiritual growth, I had to choose to enjoy the process. It more kind of felt like I was being ripped open, During this time, you may feel a mixture of many feelings: confusion, excitement, fear, and wonder. You love your renewed connection with the divine, and you wish you could read, study, learn, or meditate on a full-time basis. Simultaneously, though, you may worry about the implications that your spiritual studies will have on the rest of your life. What impact will your new spiritual pursuits have on your job, marriage, or friendships? These worries create a fear that may erode the enjoyment which your spiritual studies bring. Surrender these fears to God. Trust that you are supported, loved, and guided each moment by God and the angels. Don't worry about how your future will blend with your spiritual growth. Trust that the same power that brought you to your spiritual path will also take care of everything else for you. After all, this power supports all of the planet in the sky. It will surely support you perfectly too. And here's where we're going to leave. When you're feeling fear next, choose to give that feeling of fear over. It's just energy. You can give it over to the earth. You can give it over to the sun. You can give it over to God, to the angels. You can give it over to a loved one of yours who was always inspiring, always your champion, always loving you, but they may be more than alive at the moment. Hot potato that fear. Don't hold it inside of you. Now, don't transfer it to somebody as in to make them fearful, but instead, we're talking about surrender. Surrendering that fear. You know what? I notice in this moment, say to yourself, that I'm choosing to be fearful. And if this is your belief system, Lord, I give it over to you. I'm choosing. Ooh, the chills. Ooh. I'm choosing to give it over to you because I know that there's more for me. I don't have to be afraid. Right? Because fear is a choice, and the choice is yours. All right, send me an email back, comment below, let me know what's coming up for you around this. Curious to hear your response. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube so that you get your love letters first every week, and share this with someone that you care about who could really use some love and encouragement and positive energy. I'll see you next week. Mwah! Bye.